Trapmore Gang. There is very few people as feared and respected in the streets of Chicago as 051 Melly. Okay, maybe he wasn't known as a rapper like King Von or Big Op or any of these other guys that have, Bloodhound Lil Jeff, now they're saying Kill Bill. But what he was known for was putting in work in the streets, and people were very scared of 051 Melly. But what it actually turns out, now they're saying, okay, that the story about 051 Melly might be darker than we could have ever possibly imagined. Because not only is this somebody who was allegedly taking the lives of numerous enemies of his gang, 051 Young Money, but it's now come out that he might be responsible for 2 more murders of close friends of his from his own gang. Apparently, basically, his gang, like members of his own gang, basically not towing the line and doing the right thing and switching sides or hanging around with people who are associated with the ops, might have led him to kill 2 people from his own gang. That's what new paperwork is saying. And if this is true, it might actually push his body count into the double digits. Okay, it doesn't give me any pride or happiness to report that, but that is what people are saying over on Chiracology of all places. Okay, these 2 latest victims are possibly the most surprising ones on the list of bodies that have been associated with 051 Young Melly. These are 2 of his close friends. Okay, they're essentially from a gang or a set basically allied with 051. They're not 051 members strictly, but this is Motor and Side from Jaro City, a set that is apparently very close and very known for associating with 051 members, and this basically is a tribute to them, of them basically being killed a few years, like 5 years before this poster. This would be about 7 years ago now, but people claimed that they were killed by Gino from THF 46 and Lil Red from Blackgate. Now, what's crazy is that it's taken years for new paperwork to come out for people to actually say, yo, 051 Melly might have been behind this. Now, 051 Young Money and Jaro City do have a long history of allies, of being allies in the streets, which stretches back all the way to the 2010s, okay? This is a post that basically is going around from 4 years ago. It says, when you say dumb stuff like, why was Melly in a Jaro City party by himself? He didn't just start hanging with them. He really felt that was his family and they was the same gang. Okay, they might not rep 051 Young Money, but apparently Jaro City was so close with 051 Young Money that they basically saw him as the same. Okay, this is a post that basically said, bitch, I'm Young Money, boy, you is Jaro Melly. They're saying he ain't 051 Melly, he's so close with Jaro, they might as well call him Jaro Melly, right? So I almost forgot. I'm gonna pop out with my other family, Jaro City. Okay, this is his Twitter saying, basically, that's his other family, saying that's his other family. Saying if you ain't Young Money, Jaro, or MOB, don't call yourself a loose screw, right? Lil B was out here torching ops. I hate the streets, just took Lil Mark. YM Jaro. So he's repping YM Jaro. It's like an alliance. Ask them why they took Fathead. We gave an inch. They took a yard. Jaro City Melly in this bitch tripping. So that's what people are calling. He was going by Jaro City Melly. And this is more posts. I'm YM Jaro, bitch. I don't care who I don't like, seriously. If you ain't YM Jaro, F you, kid. Don't know what club I'm a pop out at. You know we're going to turn that bitch up. YM Jaro mob. My dudes with the stuff don't play around. YM Jaro. Okay, YM Jaro, EBT, we out here, Fifi on the block. This bitch busting pop out all the bitches because I need a chick to take out to eat tonight. 100K. Clearly, he had love for Jaro City, all right? Obviously. Now, I've got here, this is the full, this is from the murder report or the incident report from the night that Jaro City's Motor and Side were actually killed. And this was January the 3rd, 2019. And I want to read this to you because this was basically the official story at the time. Let me see if I can zoom in. All right. Let me see. Is this going to work? Basically... All right, so it says, in a body-worn camera incident, in summary, the law enforcement responded to a call of shots fired at the intersection of 51st and Indiana Avenue, 051. Per video footage from the Golo gas station located at Redacted, the victim was seen in a 2014 Dodge Avenger 4-door leaving the gas station, headed northbound on Indiana Ave in the far left lane, and upon approaching the intersection, a Chrysler 300 4-door vehicle, grey in color, with missing front plate and 10 chrome rims, street name CC's, was observed approaching the intersection at the victim's passenger side. Offender then Offender then fired multiple shots from the driver's side window, striking the passenger Marcus Clark and driver of the Dodge Avenger, Wilbert Townsend, resulting in the vehicle excelling through the intersection, going northbound and crashing into the northeast side of the building of Barbers at Redacted, causing no structural damage to the building. The offender made an immediate right turn eastbound on 51st Street. However, the victim's vehicle struck a gas line attached to the building. Beat cop called for CFD and an ambulance, and People's Gas Redacted responded for repairs. Both victims suffered fatal gunshot wounds. The passenger, Marcus Clark, victim, suffered 2 wounds to the face and 1 to the right side of the chest, and Wilbert Townsend, victim, suffered 1 wound to the right side of his chest. Third passenger, Redacted, is that a 20-year-old male or M120, 1992? Would that have been 20? Would have been like that'd be the birthday, won't be that age. Of Redacted location, did not suffer any injuries and escaped unharmed. A weapon, a Glock 22 40 cal with an extended magazine, fully loaded with 18 rounds and 1 in the chamber, was recovered from the waist of Marcus Clark, the victim, and recovered by the beat cop and taken for processing. Video camera footage may have been captured at Redacted at 126 51st Street, and pod camera Redacted located at the southwest corner of 51st and Indiana Ave. The following personnel responded to the scene as well as notified, and then it just kind of says, the different people that were involved. So this is where things get interesting. Okay, so I'm going to read you a few more things from this document, and I'm going to get back to the links. All right, 2 witnesses would speak to police, and this included a female that was inside the vehicle at the time of the shooting. So Sergeant Blaz related that a witness, Redacted, something car, and related that she observed the Redacted of the victim's vehicle returning gunfire in the direction of the offender's vehicle during the incident. So she's saying they shot back. Detective Cortez administered gunshot residue kit in an area central interview room. And Detective Cortez conducted an interview with witness Redacted in an area central interview room. Redacted related that he had left Crandom at 10:30 100 hours to go to 44th and Drexel Avenue. Related he stopped at a liquor store for a loose cigarette, and related that he walked from the bus stop at 51st and Cottage Grove to 51st and Indiana Ave. Redacted related that he had asked Wilbert for a ride. Redacted related that he knew victim Morris. Wilbert, Redacted, related that, Redacted, Grey Dodge, Redacted, related that a silver sedan begun shooting at the vehicle, Redacted, after exiting the Golo gas station and he ducked down, Redacted, related that Redacted crashed into a building. Detective Cortez conducted the interview with witness Redacted. And then they talk about recovering the gun from the victim's waistband again. Now, following the incident, okay, this post would go around, allegedly made by Melly on social media in the aftermath. And the way he's talking about the incident is a little bit strange for people that are from a set that he's cool with. He said, I just told y'all about that goofy-ass gas station. I'm pissed at y'all, my N-words. But see y'all when I see y'all, man. Love y'all, bitch-ass. Heartbroken emoji. Now, it do hit different when we know a little bit more info now. Now, the person alleged to be that female witness would later be identified as Ambrania Collins, and she would immediately post about the situation in the immediate aftermath. This is January the 3rd, 2019. And this is her basically mourning the loss, saying, my rap and my rappy, damn side, just like that, huh? Tagging Marcus Clark and Jaro Rel. Okay, and this was followed by multiple posts that seem to hint at basically plans to seek revenge, or at least support for whoever might want to get some get back in these streets. I just want to say something for the record. There's something really screwed up going on with Facebook right now, and a lot of posts are just getting screwed up. Like, I'm doing a lot of research on different topics right now, and this keeps happening. Mark Zuckerberg needs to pattern it up, because this is definitely annoying, and it's happening damn near every time. If you go on Google Images and you find an image that's on Facebook, this is what comes up. You can't see it. You can't see the original high-quality image. But luckily, I'm a G, so me and the guys have got backups, okay? These were posts that were going around. She said, paint this bitch bloody red. Ain't no passes. Ain't no letting up. Don't give no S about the justice system. We gon' slide. But unfortunately, that woman would lose her life before the month even ended. Now, how suspicious is that? This is the article. That's that very same woman, before January's even over, she's saying they're going to paint the city red. She's saying she wants get back. She doesn't want everyone to slide, and she ends up getting shot dead in a Roseland alley, and she was apparently loved by so many. That was Ambriana Collins, okay? It says, a 24-year-old woman was shot to death Friday morning in the Roseland neighborhood, being remembered as a hardworking parent. Ambriana Collins was shot several times in her chest about 2:35 a.m. in an alley in the 10700 block of South Eberhart on the far south side, according to Chicago police. Investigators were told a white SUV sped from the scene of the shooting. She died at the scene, and she left behind a 4-year-old son named Angelo and her relative Sheila House. The boy's father died from cancer last October. Everybody is just so lost about it. And this is like some footage of... So this is some footage from the scene.
2221 Robert.
It's just eerie. No, it's sad to say, but it's just a normal night in Chicago. Yep. It could happen to anyone.
From you with vanity played by William Adam George. All right, Darion Jones on the move. Reference that.
Okay, so it says Colin's son Angelo might be staying with his grandmother for now, her relative Devin Williams said. House said Collins was a hardworking mother who worked at both a Popeyes restaurant and a McDonald's location at 103rd Street and Kedzie Avenue. We're just so stunned, House said. Everybody called her Ambry. She was loved by so many. She lived in the West Pullman neighborhood. An autopsy found that she died of multiple gunshot wounds and her death was ruled a homicide. And nobody was in custody while the detectives were investigating. Now, there were various theories as who or why she might have ended up, who might have been responsible and why she might have ended up losing her life, basically, okay? And people were debating this 5 years ago on Chiracology, all right? This is Ambry's gravestone. It's a very sad situation. People saying, so sad. RIP, if I recall, she just got off work and someone she knew picked her up and she went into the white van with them and ended up getting murdered. People are saying it was 051 Melly. Why would he kill her, though? She was cool with them all. They were saying she's the one who set up Motor Inside. People on here said that. Not in real life. Was it true she got killed because she set people up? I don't think from her Facebook post it was sounding like she got set up, but it did sound like she might well have known what had gone down that night. She might well have known what was going on. Nobody knows. Somebody on here said DOD killed her. Not sure how true that is. How the F we lose Side and Motor on the same day? Them two outstanding members don't even sound right. It sounds like some snakes in the grass. So I've got to keep up my pipe. J Main. Well, Melly did tell them to stay out the area for real, for real. Melly backdooring Side and Motor is complete BS. Bear in mind, this is 5 years ago. Whoever came up with that theory, Motor was literally one of, if not his best friends. I think Bree probably had something to do with Motor and Slide getting killed, so Melly killed her. Then Taekwon World came back and killed Melly for her after they found out what was really going on. False. She ain't set up Motor or Side. Are you saying false like you know for a fact, like you was there? Why was she killed? Did they ever find out who killed her or why they killed her? A lot of stuff happened in the streets and internally within gangs after she was brutally murdered and left in the alley in the snow and cold. Rest in peace to her. Melly. Why are people saying Melly killed her? It makes perfect sense if you ask me, which is why Taekwon World did him like that. But it's all skeptical since nobody was there. I'm not trying to say this 100% what happened because clearly I'm an outsider. No, Taekwon World killed Melly due to a dispute that happened earlier in the day involving a crib. Motor Inside was spotted at an ops gas station by THF Gino. Maybe. Saying Melly's only female body, right? I'm just asking. Melly's only female body, right? Just ask him. Well, interestingly enough, there would be more info from the police report, okay? In the investigation of Jaro City Side and Motor's deaths, the police will build their case around this Chrysler 300. It was identified by witnesses and seen on surveillance footage, okay? This is a picture of the car seeking to locate it. They're seeking to locate the above vehicle in connection with a double homicide. I'm going to know, it's got nice rims on that. The double homicide. Officers should use caution. Yes, as officers should use caution when approaching the vehicle as the occupants may be armed. All right. Unknown offenders shot from the rear passenger area of the vehicle at victims and fled eastbound on 51st Street from Indiana. If found, hold the vehicle for processing and identify all occupants. And there'll be more images of the whip circulated. This is from the actual police report. And it's very, very interesting. Okay. And so apparently, due to the way the murder went down, investigators were also looking to access the victim's cell phone data, okay? So this is what it says basically at the bottom of essentially like they're trying to get hold and seize the cell phone data of the victim to try and find out what's going on. It says area central detectives obtained and reviewed surveillance camera footage from near that time and location, observed a grey in colored Chrysler 300 stopped at the red light, and observed the victim's vehicle drive out of a gas station and travel northbound on South Indiana Ave and stop at a traffic light where the grey 300 was stopped alongside the victim's vehicle. The victim's vehicle is observed in the west lane of Indiana Ave, while the offending 300 is observed in the east lane. Your affiant observed the offending vehicle, the grey 300, in close proximity to the vehicle, and several flashes of light can be observed, consistent with the professional experience of gunshots beginning to shoot at the victim's vehicle. After the shooting, the 300 fled eastbound on 51st. The video then shows the victim's vehicle traveling northbound and crashing into a building. The path taken by the offender's vehicle as they approached northbound. Wilbert Morris and the vehicle was direct, and the entire homicide lasted only approximately 1 minute in duration. Based on the affiant's experience and knowledge of the crime scene, it's suspected that either Wilbert or Morris and the offenders were directed to the exact location where the homicide occurred. The affiant further believes that such a direction to the location may have been conducted using cellular phone calls, messages, GPS data, or other smart technology abilities, right? And now, January 2025, almost 6 years after Side and Motors murders, we're now hearing that an informant is actually trying to identify 051 Melly as the shooter formally, okay? This is what's going around, all right? This is 2025, just at the start of this year. So, interview with Redacted, okay? Interview with Redacted. Redacted related to R&D that Redacted, he begun to hang out with his Redacted along with Yarmel and a guy named Redacted. Related that evening of the homicides of Morris and Clark. Redacted was at an acquaintance named Redacted's residence at 39th and Lake Park. Redacted. Yarmel, who goes by the nickname Melly, Redacted. Yarmel stated Redacted that I caught him for playing both sides. I didn't even have to get out the car. I shot him from the window and the car ran into Barbara's mother effer couldn't drive. Redacted. Yarmel was demonstrating with his hands how he was shooting out the car window. Redacted that the car was a Chrysler 300 with tints and very distinct rims. God, they were nice rims, I'm not going to lie. Redacted related that Yarmel would joke with Redacted saying, anyone want a Barbara's sandwich? This guy is a demon. What the hell? Detective Rosalie's administered a photo lineup to Redacted at Area 1 witness room. Redacted circled position number 1, who is Yarmel Williams, Melly. Referred to a photo lineup supplemental report. Photo lineup is recorded under ERI. RD entered the witness room after the photo lineup and handed Redacted a still photo of Yarmel Williams. Redacted related that was Melly. Then Redacted signed the photo identifying Yarmel Williams as Melly, the man who shot and killed both victims. RD handed Redacted 2 still photos of victims Morris and Clark, related that he knew Motor, who is the victim Wilbert Morris. Redacted signed the photo identifying victim Morris. Redacted related that he did not know victim, but he did believe that he had seen him around before but wasn't certain. Detectives learned Yarmel Williams was himself a victim of a homicide on the 1st of September 2019. Due to the positive identification of Yarmel Williams, a.k.a. 051 Melly, as the lone offender that shot and killed Wilbert Morris and Marcus Clark, but Williams' death precluding him from being arrested and charged. They're trying to clear the desk. RD requests that this case be exceptionally cleared/closed. Other exceptional death of the offender. Now, this might surprise you, okay, but a lot of the time, especially in Chicago, it seems like the police, they're quite happy to take some information and close a case, even when the shooter's dead. This does help them. This actually is technically solving the crime. They technically solve these murders now. Sure, there's no justice. Sure, there's no consequence for Melly. But realistically, they've actually come to a conclusion. This is the same thing as with the King Von KI situation. They was trying to say, look, we got information. We can pretty much try and say with pretty good certainty that King Von did this. Can we close the case? And it wouldn't surprise me if more of these type things came out. It wouldn't surprise me if there were some Chicago legends sitting down right now looking to close a few cases to save their own skin in some sort of high-profile trial. I don't know. That might rhyme with burger for tires. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Duck's case, murder for hire, right? Like, people will quite happily solve, like, Chicago. I'm not saying Dirk's going to be able to throw anyone under the bus like this, but, like, realistically, like, Dudes can solve murders of people that are dead and like help the cops out and get themselves out of a jam. Might not get you out of like 25 years, but it might get you reduced down. This is what it is. This is the game that these detectives be playing, man. It is what it is. Okay. Now, interestingly, this is actually the second time that 051 Melly has been named by the police as the murderer of an ally. He allegedly killed Lord Dre from Pocket Town in 2017. This is someone he was cool with. This is them together a month before Melly allegedly killed him.
This nigga just a smiling and shit. Lord back here with the dumbest, freakiest motherfuckers. Work on this thing. Y'all on the laugh. You on the laugh, watch it. Get back.
I ain't gonna lie, that is creepy and chilling. People saying, I believe he became cool with him just so he could do him. For real, on some real live snake stuff. Look at his face. Really looked like he was laughing, thinking how he was finna do him. I'm gonna watch it again. They're saying he really befriended this guy so he can kill him. That's insane.
This nigga just a smiling and shit. Lord back here with the dumbest, freakiest motherfuckers. Work on this thing. Y'all on the laugh. You on the laugh, watch it. Get back.
That last little smile there. He's like, I can't wait to smoke this dude. That's crazy. And ironically, in the days leading up to Lord Dre's murder, Melly made a tweet. I might read a few more comments because that is actually crazy. Melly snaked his own mans. That's wild. Damn, if that's true, I can see why people be saying Melly was a sociopath. It's crazy. Context behind why Melly killed him. Dude had money on his head and he needed the bread to go and bond his brother out, so he whacked Lord. That's crazy. Some serious loyalty and lack of empathy towards human life. Karma's a bitch, though. You see what happened to Melly a year later. Melly was a sociopath. You kind of got to be right. That's a lot of stress to go through, even if it's self-defense. Wonder if that was really his homie or if he was fake kicking it with him. Horrible. That's exactly what he was. Dude didn't even realize that the one right next to him would take him out. Snake. And that's exactly why Melly is where he's at. MFs praise Melly for being a super killer, but don't even know he opened the back door. If I was from Chicago, then BD gone rogue dudes, I could not mess with. It's crazy. It'd be the ones that wish you a happy birthday and many more that take you out. Crazy. Crazy. So apparently, in the days leading up to Lord Dre's murder, Melly actually made a tweet about him as well. All right. He said, they got my little bro. They got my little bro. I got to bond my little bro out. And people are basically saying that was Melly basically collecting a bounty on somebody, essentially, so that he could bond his little brother out. And then this is the clipping from the police report where the police basically later confirmed that Melly indeed killed Lord Dre to collect the bounty on his head and bond his brother out. This says Redacted related that a couple of weeks or so after his conversation with Smothers, he saw Melly. Redacted related that he asked Melly, why did he kill Lil Lord? Redacted related that Melly stated I had to bond my little brother out and that Lil Lord had 12,000 on his head and I had to clap him. Redacted further related that he knew that Redacted was in jail at the time of Lil Lord's homicide. Redacted related that he knows that when someone has money on their head, that means a person will pay for said person to be killed. Redacted further related that to clap someone is to shoot someone. Rhyme had nothing further to say. I am feeling a chill to my bones. Like, it's actually crazy. I'm not going to lie. This whole news of, like, you know, Melly allegedly killing Motor and Side coming out is, like, pretty crazy to think that he would have snaked his friends, but like that little video where he's like befriending dude to try and set him up and kill him, I pray I've got no one like that around me. All right, I pray that I never encounter somebody like that. I ain't gonna lie, I've encountered some pretty devious backdoor type people over the last few years. I'm not gonna lie, I've met a few people. I'm definitely too trusting. A few of my friends have told me recently I'm way too trusting. Okay. So we pulling the ladder up, all right? We ain't letting no 051 Mellys into the circle no more. That is chilling. It actually chills my blood. It's crazy. So, yeah, really, like, there's definitely lessons to be learned, but also just like, bruh, like, that one just blew my mind, man. That one just blew my mind. So let me know what you guys think, man. Do you feel like 051 Melly, you think he was really doing all that stuff? Or do you think people are capping on his name to try and get years taken off their sentences and help the police close cases willy-nilly just to save their own skin? I really don't know, but I do feel like with Lil Durk on trial and so many people facing football numbers for their crimes, including the murder of FBG Duck, It wouldn't surprise me if a few famous homicides did get solved in the next year or so, perhaps even in the next couple of months. And when they do, I will be sure to update you guys. Crazy. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Thanks.